Hi, this is Julie with Beadaholique, and today I want to show you how to use two-part epoxy clay and make color variations with it. So you see here I have a compact and I used a sage green clay here, but I wanted to have a lighter green for another project, so I took that same sage green clay and just added white to it and came up with this really nice minty lighter shade of green. So I want to show you how to do this. You can actually make other colors as well where you're matching two colors together, like a blue and an orange or a yellow and a red, but I just want to show you the most basic, which is going to be creating different shades of the same color. So here I have a pink compact. This is the actual pink. This is the full intensity of it, but I want to make several other shades of pink. So it's going to be the same process you do for any type of clay project. I've got crystal clay here, but this will also work well for decoré or any other two-part epoxy clay. You need equal parts of part A and part B, which I have right here. A is the color, B is the hardener. And I've got myself some pink and I got myself some white. So first off, I'm going to pinch off some pink. I'm wearing rubber gloves to protect my hands and also because the clay is very sticky. I'm just going to take a little ball of pink. And I want to create two different variations here so you can see the difference. So I'm going to take another little ball of pink. That is approximately half the size of the first ball. Real technical terms here. Now I'm going to take my white, and my hands are still pretty clean. You're not going to want to be touching, if my hands had gotten really pink from touching this, I wouldn't want to necessarily use the same pair of gloves to touch the white, but they're okay. So now I want to show you what it's going to look like with about the same amount of white added as the pink balls. So again, with any type of epoxy clay, it's really important your measurements. It needs to be, when you add the hardener in, it needs to be equal parts hardener, equal parts of the colored clay. All right, so that's going to be about 50-50 pink and white. And now I want to add a higher proportion of white to this one. Which will of course give me a lighter shade of pink. All right, so that looks good for those colors. Now I need to add my hardener. So what I'm going to do first, just so I can see how big of a ball I actually have, I'm going to take the pink and white and squish them together in a little ball. There we go. I'm going to do the same for my other selection. Okay. Now I need to make balls of the hardener, which are the same size. And remember in here I'm doing two separate projects because I want to show you two different shades of pink. That ball looks just a little bit big. I'm going to pinch off a little bit, and that looks about right. And then because I am using different packets of the color of the clay, I'm going to use the hardener from different packets, but the hardener is the same in all the different colors. And until the color and the hardener actually are mixed together, the curing time does not begin. And then once it does, we have an hour to an hour and a half to work with it. So I'm taking my time, making sure I get this right. Okay. I do apologize. I've got very tiny hands and these gloves are a tad bit big, but it is good to work with gloves when you are working with this. All right, so those look equal and those look equal. So I'm going to just start by mixing them together. So this was the one that was 50% pink, 50% white, and then I measured an equal amount of the hardener. And you're just going to squish these all together. And keep kneading them until all striations are gone and it's a uniform color. Okay, so there's one ball. You can see that's a much lighter shade, a softer shade than the original. And now we're going to go do the next one, which will be even lighter. And I think just so you can see it, I'm going to mix up a full strength batch really quick so you just have a really good comparison of the different shades you're going to get. And there we go. So you can see we have the full intensity pink right there. Here was 50% pink, 50% white, and then here was a higher portion of white to pink. You have 3 different shades, and then you could keep going on until you create an infinite amount of shades. You can also, again, mix different colors together to create other colors which were not part of your original clay mix. So I hope this is helpful, and have fun using your 2-part epoxy clay.